said it didn't broadcast last week.
It did not. Okay, welcome to those that have joined us here in council chambers, as well as those that are joining us this evening from home. This is a meeting of the Poquoson City Council. It is Tuesday. I know it seems a little strange, but it's the day after Memorial Day. It's Tuesday, May 28th. And I welcome you all here. And if you'll all please rise, I'll lead you in the invocation. Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and for the many blessings we've received in our city. As we deliberate the issues before us this evening, we ask for a portion of your wisdom. And we always ask that you be with our military, our public safety officials, and their families, and never let us forget what we celebrated yesterday with those who served us, in memory of all of them for Memorial Day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this evening we're going to start off with some special presentations. The first one is a recycling update. And Bodina, you want to let us know what's going on with that? Yes. Before you start, I never get to see you because you're down at the other building. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for being the voice on the other end of the phone. I get so many compliments
thank you.
Of the people that call down there. So I just want to pass that along to you.
Thank you. So yes, I am the voice at the end. Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents at home. I just needed to give you an update on what's going on with our recycling since the contract has changed, and the new contract starts July 1st. I'm going to read from my notes, that way I don't skip anything. The carts, we're getting new carts being delivered June 15th through the 30th. The residents who have 35-gallon carts at this time will get a 35-gallon cart. All other residents will get a 95-gallon cart, which is 30 gallons more than what we were delivered 5 years ago when we started the contract we're currently in. The new carts will be gray on the bottom with a tan lid. The recyclable items, we have a new list. We will be recycling number 1 and number 2 plastics. Those are the plastics with bottles with a neck on them. We will be still doing glass bottles, jars, paper, cardboard boxes, mixed papers, and metal cans. These are the only acceptable items. No plastic to include plastic bags. Do not bag your recycling when it's in your home. Greasy pizza boxes, garden hoses, styrofoam, etc. These are called contaminants and are not recyclable. So if you're not sure if it's acceptable, use the thought pattern of when in doubt, throw it out. Additional materials. No items set out beside the cart will be picked up. To save space in your cart, you can crush your plastics, load your cardboard in last. You can fold your cardboard, put it on top and use the lid like a clipboard to hold it down. Or you can fold your cardboard stuff, put it in like a cardboard box and set it on top of your can and it will dump at that time. Residents who have been on vacation, who live on long lanes, who do not have recycling at their home can use the recycling dumpster here at City Hall. Our recycling days are going to stay the same. Your route may change, but your date will stay the same. The holidays, this contractor will take 6 holidays versus the 3 they currently take. It'll be New Year's Day, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day. Today, I just found out how the old carts are going to be picked up. On the last recycling day, County Waste, who is our contractor now, will be picking up. They're going to have a truck following with laborers on that, picking up your old cart, dismantling them, and taking them away. Though that day is going to run much slower than normal, so it's going to take a little bit longer. To recap, our new contract is July 1st. New carts will be delivered by the end of June. Your old cart will be picked up by your contractor. Your acceptable items are number 1, PETs, number 2, HDPEs, plastics only, glass bottles and jars, cardboard and mixed paper, metal cans. Unacceptable items, contaminants are plastic bags, greasy pizza boxes, garden hoses, styrofoams. If TFC sees a cart with contaminants, they will tag your cart and possibly refuse your cart depending on how much is in there. Remember, when in doubt, throw it out. Nothing will be picked up outside of your cart, and there will be 6 holidays a year that will be observed.
Just 1 or 2 questions. On the
Okay.
6 holidays that they observe, do they pick up the next day?
The next day.
All right, so there's just a delay in service.
Yes, sir.
On those days. Okay. We've also moved, I guess, the stickers onto the cans with your evacuation zone.
That's actually on your trash can, not on your recycling can.
Okay, got it. And how else are we communicating? I know this isn't it.
This is not it. We have been putting out just small word blips on social media, so it's on our TV channel, it's on Twitter, Facebook, those type of things, and we've been putting them out once a month to have people be able to see that.
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You said the carts, the old carts will be picked up on the last recycling day. Do you mean the last recycling day of your schedule?
Of
Is that
your
what you meant?
schedule, yes. So when they come through and empty your cart, they're going to take your cart.
Gotcha.
Is that going to be in June, the last recycling day of June?
Last recycling day in June, so it'll either be the next to last Friday or the last Friday, depending on if you're red or blue.
Okay, and do they still pick up cardboard and paper?
They will still pick up cardboard and mixed paper, and they're still offering large cardboard pickups. So for residents who move in and they have the large cardboard pickups from all their moving boxes, we're still offering those. Say you went Amazon shopping and you have so many, they will still pick up those.
But one question. For the citizens who don't put their carts out on that last day, because it's going to happen, are they then responsible for returning those to county waste?
No, they are not. What will happen is they'll end up calling us and we'll end up making special arrangements for them to be picked up. But we are asking that everybody, put them out in front of your home, have your neighbor put them out, have them on the front side of your home so they can be seen. Okay?
Even if they're empty?
Even if they're empty,
Even if
yes.
they're empty.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
I don't think we have any questions. I would ask that we go ahead and plan just a brief, it can be the city manager, but the next meeting we have in June, we may as well talk about this again.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
Appreciate your time this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, the next is a special presentation. It deals with a proclamation that we have here on National Night Out, but I'm going to open up with inviting Officer Biggs and Officer Gills to come up and tell us all about this. And I apologize in advance because y'all are probably going to get a lot of calls about somebody stole my recycling bin. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, City Councilmen, women, and citizens. We're here to, tell you all about our first annual National Night Out. It's been going on for years in other jurisdictions, and it's an opportunity for the police department to give back to our community and to our citizens, which support us so much. So what we'll be doing is having a thing down at Municipal Park, and it's on August the 6th every year. So whatever day August 6th falls on, this year it's a Tuesday. It's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and through donations and things like that from a lot of our churches, civic groups, and local businesses, we've been able to provide food, chips, all that stuff, drinks, bounce houses, all that good stuff. She'll be able to tell you a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of that, but we're just trying to provide a bunch of stuff to show the support towards the citizens who've shown us great support in the past. So I'll pass this on to
We have
Officer
a quick
Gills.
video to show y'all. It's only maybe a minute and 30 seconds or so.
Absolutely.
But it's just kind of an overview of other National Night Out.
Absolutely, great, thanks.
Hopefully I don't mess this up, so we'll see.
You got it.
National Night Out gives the community an opportunity to forge relationships with law enforcement. It's designated on the first Tuesday in August.
Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard, looking down, seeing stars. 90210, rodeo is rodeo. Glad I hit it, glad I did it, and I do it again. Yeah, hang with my friends, with them red Maseratis and them tuned up bodies, and everybody gonna be the next somebody. Yeah, this place is a trip. Hey, but meanwhile, back in the sticks, somebody's having a small town, big time night. Somebody's rocking the main street, or red tail lights. Somebody's cranking it up, or falling in love, or getting a buzz, sipping on a little moonlight. Yeah, they know how to rock out in the boondocks, 'cause believe me, I've been there. Somebody's having a small town, big time night somewhere.
So that video came from the actual website for National Night Out. It's just a quick little clip of some of the things that you'll see at our National Night Out. So just a little bit more information about it. Poquoson Police Department, we're going to be hosting this event for the entire community August 6th from 6 p.m.
I'll take care of it.
Of course, I couldn't have done that right the first time. But, so this event's going to be held August 6, 2019, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at our municipal park. We're in the planning stages of preparing for a backup location just in case it does rain. At the event, there's going to be bounce houses, free food, information booths, live demonstration by the police and fire department. There will be live music. A DJ is going to be coming out free of charge to put some music on for everybody. There's going to be a touch a truck section, and there's going to be a dunk booth where the community can dunk our 2 SROs, one being Officer Biggs, and our Lieutenant Farrington. As an added bonus, Parks and Rec is going to be opening up the pool free of charge during the event. A large portion of the funding is coming from local churches, businesses, and civic groups. All their support reminds us of the city slogan, Poquoson is the place. Businesses that donate to the event will have their names added to our sponsor banners, and those will be hung at multiple areas at the park. National Night Out is a great way to give back to our community who supports our department year-round. And the Poquoson Police Department would like to thank everybody on the council in advance for their support for this event. I also have our planning book with us, so if you have any questions about some of our partners and some of our sponsors, we have all of that with us.
Okay, thank you very much. If you two would join me over here, I'll read this proclamation. First, let me say I'm really looking forward to this. And, you know, in August, I'm hoping that our fire truck will be there spraying down the kids, just like I saw in the video. But thank y'all both for your support and really your drive in getting this done and getting this to be a positive influence for our citizens and a chance to meet y'all one-on-one. We get to see you more frequently than others, and it's always a pleasure to deal with everybody in the police department. I want everybody to try and reach out and do this, whether you're a citizen or you're part of the civic groups that are doing this. But this proclamation and council support for the National Night Out on August 6th, it's whereas the National Night Campaign provides an opportunity for neighbors in your city to join over 38 million neighbors across 16,000 communities from all 50 states, U.S. territories, and military bases And whereas National Night Out is an annual community building campaign that promotes strong police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie to make our neighborhoods safer, more caring places to live and work. And whereas essential that all neighbors of our city come together with police and work to build together a safer and more caring community, we, the Council of the City of Poquoson, do hereby call upon all of our neighbors in the City of Poquoson to join the Poquoson Police Department and the National Association of Town Watch in support of National Night Out on August 6th. Thank you all again for everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, and we welcome y'all to put that in the police station, or actually, why don't we put that in the lobby here at City Hall?
Okay.
Until the night is over.
Sounds
Okay?
good.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
thanks.
Thank you.
And since I'm looking at members of many of the community organizations around here that y'all are all on them, I hope that you'll press your organizations to help. That really sounds like a great event. Great event. All right, one new employee recognition. I think we know this one.
I believe you do. Y'all probably know him a lot better than I do at this point. It's my pleasure to introduce Greg McDaniel as our new senior building official. His duties will primarily be, of course, building inspections, but also the building maintenance aspect of the position that was formerly filled by Ann Payne. Looking forward to that. Greg comes to us with lots of experience in contracting, has been a Class A contractor for the last 20, 30 years, something like that, a while. He was a former councilman, as many of y'all know, and also played football for the University of Virginia. But we're excited about what he brings to the table. Ken Somerset has had him out and about quite a bit as it is. So I'm sure Greg will be up to speed in not too very long. If in fact you're not already up to speed, I don't know. But Greg, you want to say anything?
Greg, come on up.
Yeah, you know you're going to have to talk. So.
Good evening. I want to thank council and staff, administrators for having me here tonight. Looking forward to my new position here, even though I was retired. I'm getting back in the workforce, but looking forward to serving the city again. I'm also vice chair of our Citizens Emergency Response Team, the CERT group, so I've been doing that for the last couple of years.
Okay.
So looking forward to doing this as well.
Welcome back. Different capacity.
Good to be back.
Good to see you. All right, next item on the agenda is an audience for visitors. If anybody here would like to address council on any subject. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the audience for visitors and ask for consideration of the minutes by council.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes of our regular session of May 13th, 2019.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. We approve those minutes. Evie, please.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Andrews.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Canella.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 6-0.
Okay, next item on the agenda is a public hearing, but it should be a fairly quick public hearing, and this is to hear on school board appointments of those nominees that wish to be considered. Do you have a list that you'd like to read?
I actually have only two names that were given to me. One is the incumbent, Jeremy Jordan, who is definitely interested in
Reappointment.
reserving.
Okay.
And the second one is Mr. Craig Freeman, who has turned in an application and request for this.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I'll open the public hearing with those two names inserted into the record. Are there others that are interested in serving on the Poquoson School Board? I'm aware, so. Yeah, if they're not mentioned tonight, just bringing that out. If you're not mentioned in the public hearing this evening, then we cannot consider you for this round of appointments. Okay, council, are there any others that you had calls from that were interested?
No, Gina, I do have a question. Are we going to interview for this?
That'll be up to council, and we'll make a decision. Probably I'll get Evie to poll around and see if we're going to interview or if it's just going to be the local.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If none, I will close the public hearing and ask, we don't really have any action on this, but I'll close the public hearing, and that's on school board appointments. Under new business, it looks like a lot of action for. Okay. So we have five items under new business. One of them is council's, and the rest are yours. So we'll start with the first one, which is ordinance making appropriations for fiscal year 2019. This is a medic grant and donation.
Correct. So in front of you, if you recall, a grant application was approved by City Council last year. It was awarded January 1st, and since then, we've proceeded to get bids on the medic. And so through a cooperative agreement, we have gotten that bid as well as done a couple other things. But before we can actually enter into contract, I need to appropriate the funds. So this ordinance actually appropriates the grant, the 50/50 grant, as well as the donations that the Poquoson Rescue Squad, Volunteer Rescue Squad, has worked hard to receive.
Okay. So, council, is there a motion to proceed with this item?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2019 for the medic grant and donations.
Second.
A motion made and seconded that we adopt an ordinance appropriating the money for medic grant and moving the money from donations to that fund as well. Evie, please.
Councilwoman Andrews.
Aye.
Councilman Canella.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 6-0.
Okay, the next one is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Northwestern Emergency Vehicles to purchase a 2019 Ford E450 Type 3 AEV ambulance.
That is correct.
I don't know what any of those acronyms mean, but that's all right.
Well, you know Ford. You should absolutely know what a Ford. With this resolution, of course, we need to enter into contract. It's above the city manager's authority. Therefore, I need your authorization to enter into a contract to purchase the medic. Understanding that we have a time period in which to complete the grant, and that time period is through December, so we want to move on this quickly.
Okay, very well. Is there a motion to move forward on this?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt a resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Northwestern Emergency Vehicles to purchase a 2019 E450 Type 3 AEV ambulance.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. We approve this resolution. Evie, please.
Certainly. Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Southall. Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Councilwoman Andrews.
Aye.
Councilman Canella.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt, as with the previous two, this motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay. The next item is an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2019. This is also dealing with grants and donations.
This is correct. This is the typical house cleaning items that I bring to you. On this one, I do want to note, Officer Gills and Officer Biggs mentioned that they have been collecting. This ordinance actually appropriates the fund for the National Night Out in this time frame.
Okay. Any motion to move forward with this ordinance?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt an ordinance making additional appropriations for fiscal year 2019 for the National Night Out.
Second.
A motion made and seconded. We approve this ordinance, which moves 3 or 4 monies around for both in the police department for National Night Out, a DEQ grant, and some fire department grants. So really appreciate all of these that have been written.
In libraries.
And the library. Thank you very much. Okay. Evie, please.
Certainly. Councilman Green.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Canella,
Aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Councilwoman Andrews,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
You know, and I'm gonna step out on this a minute because these donations are, we've already moved it forward, but I need to make mention of these publicly to thank all these groups, because there's a couple in here that are local. The city got a grant from DEQ for 6207 for litter control. Police department received a DMV alcohol safety and DMV speed safety grant for fiscal year 2019. The police department received donations in the amount of $1,090 for the night out. The fire department received a local emergency management performance grant from the Department of Emergency Management for $7,500. The fire department received a 2019 Virginia Fire Incident Reporting System hardware grant for $700. Public Works received a donation of $1,235 from the Poquoson Exchange Club. Parks and Rec Community Development received a donation in the amount of $5,000 from the Poquoson Women's Club towards the purchase of a scoreboard at Firth Field. And the library received an additional donations of $7,239. Now, within a city of our size and with the budget that we've got, it's just heartwarming to me to see that level of support for all of our city agencies, and also for the fact that our departments are writing those grants for themselves. So that's a lot of money that does not come out of tax dollars. And first, I want to say thank you to all those that have either written those grants, or thank you to those that have donated. Okay. I'm sorry about stepping out of line on that one, but I didn't think that needed to go without saying. Okay. Next ordinance is making additional appropriations and transfers for fiscal year 2019, and this is less mundane: disposal of auction vehicles and equipment.
Correct. This is something different that I'm bringing to City Council with Randy's approval. In the past, when we sold a vehicle, it would go into the general fund balance. And at time, we would come back to you asking for appropriation of fund balance. Here actually takes a step of appropriating it to capital projects for future designation. So again, this is a new process for us here, but it's a process that makes sense. The bond agencies will appreciate it because we're forward thinking, knowing we're going to replace equipment.
Very good. So any questions or comments on this one before I ask for a motion? I think it's good policy, and I'll ask for that motion now.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt an ordinance making additional appropriations and transfers for fiscal year 2019 for the disposal of auction vehicles and equipment.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any final questions? Seeing none, Evie, please.
Certainly. Councilman Canella,
Aye.
Councilwoman Andrews,
Aye.
Councilman Green,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, thank you very much. The final item under new business is a resolution establishing the summer city council meeting schedule. Is there a motion on this? I don't think we need an introduction.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt a resolution canceling the first meeting of the months of June, July, and August 2019.
Second.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded that we cancel the first meeting of the months of June, July, and August. Evie, please.
Councilman Southall,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Freeman,
Aye.
Councilman Hucks,
Aye.
Councilman Green,
Aye.
Councilman Canella,
Aye.
Councilwoman Andrews,
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, comments of the Assistant City Manager.
All right, I actually have three things.
Good.
The first thing, I hope not to steal any thunder from Vice Mayor Freeman, but I just wanted to indicate that I attended the Memorial Day service ceremony out in front of City Hall yesterday. It was wonderfully done, and I just want to make that extra special thanks to Public Works and Utilities for making the area especially nice for the event. The second comment I have is on Wednesday, June 12th, Poquoson City Public Schools will be holding a PMS modernization project input meeting from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Poquoson Elementary School. This will give the community an opportunity to learn about the ideas that have been generated by the staff and the steering committee and ask questions with regards to the project at the PMS Middle School Modernization Project. There won't be a formal presentation on that evening, so you can arrive anytime after 5:30, stay around as long as you'd like, and you can also visit the middle school prior to that meeting from 4:30 to 6:30. And so that event, again, takes place on Wednesday, June 12th. My third comment is a new addition to my comments tonight, but I'm happy to report from the city manager that Poquoson High School won their soccer game tonight at Goochland by the score of 1-0. That is all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Council directives. Councilman Hux.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've spoken individually with each of my fellow council members about some ways that we could generate public interest in serving on the various boards and committees that we're responsible to populate. I have 3 suggestions tonight. If we could get a public consensus amongst the council, I'd appreciate it. The first suggestion would be to request that each board and commission announce in advance when they have openings coming up. Suggestion number 2, request that city staff actively advertise in advance when we have openings on the various boards and commissions. And number 3, I think it would be beneficial to all involved if we could bring our board bank application process into the 21st century, and in doing so request city staff to develop a proposal on what it would take to develop and maintain an electronic board bank application process to which citizens could go to the city website, to a link, fill out the electronic application that would be saved in a searchable database to where council members could sort by precinct and by individual board and commission. So if we could get a public consensus among council, would be much appreciated.
Not to put staff too much on behind the ball, but I think I don't expect any dissension from studying this and moving forward. The only thing I would ask is if staff finds something that takes additional funding or things like that, that you bring it back to us.
Yes.
Okay? Yes, definitely. Does anybody not want to do that?
I think it's an excellent idea.
What's that? Okay, so you have your consensus, Mr.
Very good. Thank you very much. And I know in the discussions that I had, council members had some excellent additional suggestions. So please feel free to share those, because we can move this process forward, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all.
Councilman Green.
Just one thing, we had the mobile food pantry today, and I apologize that it fell on a day that we didn't have the council meeting beforehand. And the Poquoson Kiwanis Club was our host. They always do a great job, send a lot of people. It went very smoothly, and we served 82 families, which equates to a total of 296 people, 94 children, 154 adults, and 48 seniors. So it was a very successful day.
Very successful, and thank you, buddy, for leading that. Thank the Kiwanis Club. Did they bring barbecue for that, or did they?
They did not, and everybody went hungry.
Councilman Cannell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One thing tonight, and the mayor already mentioned it, but I just want to hit it again, is thanking the citizens who show us constant support and our department's constant support with their donations, and always thankful to the departments who seek those grants and receive those grants. I know, the fire department, they go after them all the time, and I know all of our departments do. And I know a big part of that is Battalion Chief Young, so thank him, and especially Chief Holloway and Chief Bryant. And I wanted to bring something up tonight as well. I think we can all agree on this. I have a real issue with our audio and visual video system here in Chambers. And there's some members here who can tell me, I'm pretty sure everything's probably the same it was when we had it installed. And it seems like every week we're having technical issues or somebody can't hear something from home, and important things happen in these chambers for a lot of people, not just council meetings, but presentations, proclamations done by the mayor, school board meetings, school board stuff. So I would just ask staff if we could look into updating our system. And I know it will come with a cost, but I think it's worthwhile that we have a reliable system where citizens can see and hear what we're doing when we meet here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I don't see any issue with that. I think we looked at that before the budget this year, so just dust off all that stuff and let's chat about it again. Okay. Sounds good. Any dissenters on that? I think that's a good, worthwhile program. Okay. Bud?
I'd second most of all the comments made so far tonight, and I'd also like to congratulate the high school students. They were honored this past week relative to HUNCH projects with NASA. HUNCH stands for High School Students United with NASA to Create Hardware. And we had 3 teams from the high school that competed. One of the teams elected not to push forward, but 2 others did. And one team had a project called Tool Pouch to help astronauts gather their tools in space so they don't just float all around. And that project won number 4 in the United States and it was recommended for further consideration. And the other team had a project called Augmented Reality. And that it was a software program that if they found a part in space and they didn't know what it was, it came off of a piece of equipment, they could scan it, it would pop up in the database and say, hey, this is a part from so-and-so, and it comes from this place, so they didn't know where it went. Okay? And that project won number 3 in the United States, okay, and was considered for further documentation. And so they did an excellent job. They supported the project well, and they're to be congratulated.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and appreciate you letting us know about that, because sometimes we talk a lot about all the accolades of our sports teams and all that. It's so nice to hear that, and in fact, I would like, I know I signed a bunch of letters this evening. I'd like, if we could, invite them to the next council meeting and thank them personally. NASA shouldn't be the only one bringing them out. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, Councilwoman Andrews.
I just concur with what everybody has said tonight and thank Mr. Hux for bringing up those suggestions. I think that's long overdue. I think some of our citizens see that process as sort of a black hole, and I know when I was a citizen, asked that question one time at a council meeting, you know, how does that work? And so I think it'll be good to have that process be more transparent, and I think we have a lot of people in the community that can offer a lot of value to our boards, but may not even know that that opportunity exists. So I think that's a great thing, and Thomas, too, for bringing that up, because whenever I get home and it didn't broadcast, it's the first thing I hear when I get in the door. Your meeting didn't broadcast tonight. So, yeah, I think that would be a great idea, too, to get that updated.
Okay, very good. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the City and American Legion Memorial Day ceremony, but Assistant Manager's already covered that pretty well. It was a great event.
I heard your quote out there. You know.
Yes. I could say the same thing about council meetings.
Okay, thank you. And I'll echo all the comments that I've heard here this evening. Thanks for all of these recommendations, and I haven't heard anything bad about any of them. So I think it's a great way to move forward, and I don't have any additional thing to add. So I'll ask for Councilman Green.
Just to follow up on Thomas's comment and Janice, for the last 6 months, we are part of the Verizon group that has not gotten audio, and so that frustrates Pat. She cannot correct everything that I missay when I get home, and she just texted me and said, yes, we have sound, and you will be in trouble when you get home.
I was going to say,
she
must not be listening again tonight.
No, she got it.
Excellent. Okay. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded, we adjourn. Evie, please.
Vice Mayor Freeman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Andrews.
Aye.
Councilman Southall.
Aye.
Councilman Canella.
Aye.
Councilman Hucks.
Aye.
Councilman Green.
Aye.
Mayor Hunt.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, the motion carried by a vote of 7-0.
Okay, very well. We are adjourned.
Was this an extra one, or did you?
Yes, no, she had.
Okay.
She has